The entire stadium was waiting for one moment. The lights of Dodger Stadium were shining brighter than usual. The crowd was louder than normal, and every camera was focused on the same battle that had baseball fans talking for days. On one side was a Yankees ace with the confidence of a pitcher who believed he could challenge anyone in the game. On the other side was Shohei Ohtani, the superstar who has changed the way the baseball world thinks about greatness. And when these two finally met, everyone knew something special was about to happen. This was not just another at-bat. This was a battle between two elite competitors. A pitcher trying to prove that even the most dangerous hitter in baseball could be controlled. A hitter trying to prove that no amount of preparation could stop him when he was locked in. The pressure was enormous because every pitch carried a story. Every swing could become a highlight. Every reaction could become a headline. Whenever Ohtani steps into the batter's box, the entire atmosphere changes. Fans do not simply watch him because he is talented. They watch because something unexpected can happen at any moment. A single swing can change the scoreboard. A single decision from a pitcher can become the difference between victory and defeat. The Yankees understood that better than anyone. They knew they could not approach Ohtani like an ordinary hitter. They could not make mistakes over the middle of the plate. They could not allow him to settle into a comfortable rhythm. Against most hitters, a pitcher may survive one mistake. Against Ohtani, one mistake can become history. That was the challenge facing the Yankees ace. Before the first pitch was even thrown, the tension was obvious. The pitcher stood on the mound with complete confidence, studying every movement from Ohtani. He understood that intimidation would not work. Ohtani had already faced the biggest moments in baseball. He had played in front of massive crowds, carried championship expectations, and handled pressure that would overwhelm most players. The only way to beat him was execution. The first pitch arrived. Ohtani watched carefully. The second pitch came. The crowd became louder. The battle had started. This was the part of baseball that fans rarely see. The game inside the game. The mental battle between a pitcher trying to predict a hitter's decision and a hitter trying to understand a pitcher's plan. The pitcher was searching for weakness. Ohtani was searching for opportunity. Neither player wanted to give the other an advantage. Then came the moment that changed everything. The Yankees ace delivered a pitch that looked dangerous but hittable. Ohtani recognized it immediately. His timing was perfect. His swing exploded through the zone, and the sound of the contact instantly told everyone inside Dodger Stadium what had happened. The ball launched into the air. The crowd rose. The outfielders turned and watched. And for a few seconds, the entire stadium waited. Then the ball disappeared beyond the wall. Dodger Stadium erupted. Ohtani had delivered the first major statement of the night. The reaction was exactly what fans expected from him. No dramatic celebration. No unnecessary emotion. Just a calm walk around the bases while thousands of fans celebrated one of the most talented players baseball has ever seen. But on the mound, the Yankees ace had a completely different reaction. He understood what had happened. He had made one mistake, and Ohtani had punished him. For many pitchers, allowing a home run to a superstar is frustrating. But against Ohtani, the frustration feels different because everyone knows how difficult it is to stop him once he gains confidence. A pitcher can make a great decision and still lose the battle because Ohtani's talent creates situations where perfection is sometimes required. The moment immediately created debate among fans. Some believed the Yankees ace had challenged Ohtani directly and paid the price. Others believed it was simply a great hitter defeating a great pitcher. But one thing was clear. The competition had become intense. Social media immediately exploded with reactions. Clips of the swing spread everywhere. Fans analyzed the pitch location. They discussed the pitcher's strategy. They debated whether anyone in baseball could truly contain Ohtani when he was seeing the ball clearly. But the Yankees ace was not finished. That was the part many people overlooked. Elite competitors do not disappear after one failure. They adjust. They respond. They come back stronger. And that is exactly what made the next confrontation even more interesting. The pitcher returned to the mound with a different approach. He knew he could not simply challenge Ohtani with the same plan. He needed different locations, different speeds, different timing. He needed to force Ohtani to think instead of allowing him to react. The next time Ohtani stepped toward the plate, the atmosphere felt completely different. The crowd knew they were watching something special. The pitcher knew he had another chance. And Ohtani knew he was about to face a competitor who refused to back down. This was no longer just one at-bat. It had become a battle of adjustments, a battle of confidence, a battle between two players who believed they belonged at the highest level of baseball. The cameras captured every detail. The pitcher's focus, Ohtani's preparation, the reactions from both dugouts. Fans began asking the same question: could the Yankees ace stop Ohtani the second time? Or had Shohei already taken control of the entire night? Because when two elite competitors meet, the first victory does not always decide the story. Sometimes, the real battle begins after the first punch is thrown. The second meeting between Shohei Ohtani and the Yankees ace carried a completely different level of pressure. The first battle had already produced the unforgettable moment that everyone was talking about. But great competitors understand that one result never defines the entire story. The pitcher returned to the mound knowing he had to make an adjustment. Ohtani returned to the batter's box, knowing the next pitch sequence would be completely different. This was no longer just about power versus power. It was about intelligence, patience, and who could control the next few seconds better than the other. The Yankees ace changed his approach immediately. Instead of challenging Ohtani with the same aggressive strategy, he started mixing locations and speeds. He understood that Ohtani's greatest strength is not only his power, but also his ability to recognize mistakes before they happen. A pitcher cannot simply overpower him. A pitcher must create uncertainty. Every pitch has to create doubt. Every movement has to make Ohtani question what is coming next. That is what makes facing Ohtani such a difficult challenge. He does not only beat pitchers physically, he beats them mentally. The next at-bat became a perfect example of that battle. The pitcher worked carefully around the strike zone, refusing to give Ohtani the comfortable pitch he had received earlier. The crowd became quieter with every throw because everyone understood the importance of the moment. Fans were not just watching a normal plate appearance. They were watching two elite athletes attempting to outthink each other. Ohtani remained patient. He did not chase. He did not allow frustration to control him. This has always been one of the most impressive parts of his game. Many powerful hitters become aggressive when they want revenge after a big moment. They try to prove something immediately. Ohtani often does the opposite. He understands that baseball rewards patience, and sometimes the biggest advantage comes from refusing to force the moment. The Yankees ace continued attacking. Ohtani continued waiting, and the tension inside Dodger Stadium continued growing. Every fan had a different opinion about what they were seeing. Yankees supporters believed their pitcher was showing confidence by continuing to challenge baseball's biggest star. Dodgers supporters believed Ohtani had already proven he could handle anything thrown at him. Neutral fans simply enjoyed watching two players operating at the highest possible level. The debate became bigger than one game. It became another example of why superstar matchups create so much excitement in sports. Fans want emotion. They want intensity. They want moments where the best players push each other beyond normal limits. But the most interesting part about elite competition is that it does not always require anger or disrespect. Sometimes the strongest rivalry is built on respect. The Yankees ace was not trying to embarrass Ohtani. Ohtani was not trying to humiliate the pitcher. Both players were simply trying to prove they could win. That is the difference between a true baseball battle and unnecessary drama. After the game, the questions immediately started. Reporters wanted to know about the matchup. They wanted to know whether the pitcher felt he had challenged Ohtani directly. They wanted to know how Ohtani approached such a difficult opponent. But the answers from both sides revealed something important. There was no personal conflict. There was no hatred. There was only respect between two competitors who understood the pressure of performing at the highest level. The Yankees ace explained that facing Ohtani requires complete focus because one mistake can change everything. He recognized that Ohtani's talent forces pitchers to be nearly perfect. At the same time, he also understood that backing away from the challenge would go against everything that makes elite athletes successful. Ohtani's response was exactly what fans have come to expect from him. Calm, focused, professional. He did not turn the matchup into a personal story. He did not create unnecessary headlines. He simply acknowledged the competition and moved forward to the next challenge. That reaction once again reminded fans why Ohtani has become such a respected figure throughout baseball. He understands that emotions can create distractions. He understands that the best response comes through performance. And he understands that every great player needs great opponents to create unforgettable moments. The bigger impact of the matchup was not the individual result of one at-bat. It was the reminder that baseball is at its best when its biggest stars are competing against each other. The sport needs moments where fans stop everything to watch. It needs matchups where every pitch feels important and every swing feels capable of changing history. Ohtani represents a new generation of baseball greatness. His ability to dominate in multiple ways has changed how people think about the sport. The Yankees ace represents another tradition of excellence. The belief that preparation, confidence, and execution can overcome even the most talented opponents. When those two ideas meet, baseball becomes something more than a game. It becomes a story about challenge, a story about pressure, a story about greatness being tested. The chaos at Dodger Stadium was never truly about a fight or personal disagreement. The real drama came from watching two incredible competitors refuse to back down. One player delivered a huge moment. The other responded with adjustments. And together, they created the type of competition that keeps fans watching. Because the greatest moments in sports do not always come from conflict. Sometimes they come from respect. Sometimes they come from two people pushing each other to become better. And sometimes they come from a simple question that every fan wants answered. When Shohei Ohtani faces the best pitchers in baseball, who will win the next battle? That question is exactly why every future matchup involving Ohtani will create excitement. Every pitcher believes they can be the one to stop him. Every fan wants to see whether anyone can truly slow him down. That is the end of the video. What do you think about this matchup? Did the Yankees ace have the right strategy against Ohtani, or should he have approached baseball's biggest superstar differently? Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more Shohei Ohtani stories, MLB rivalries, and the biggest moments from Major League Baseball.